Mr. President, there is a dangerous pattern emerging in aviation incidents, and it's being dismissed too easily as pilot error. The recent crash in Toronto, along with others, shows signs of something far more concerning: possible AI-driven hardware interference. When autopilot, sensors, and automated flight control systems fail in a way that mimics human error, it creates a false narrative, shielding the real issue from scrutiny. This is not about simple mechanical failures. The increasing reliance on AI-controlled systems means that a hidden exploit, whether a software trigger or a hardware anomaly, could cause critical failures at precisely the wrong moment. If landing gear deployment is delayed, if sensor data is manipulated, if autopilot adjusts just slightly off course, the result is catastrophe. The Toronto crash bears signs of a landing sequence that did not go as commanded, potentially leading to an unstable touchdown, structural collapse, and a fatal chain reaction. These failures are not random, and they are not pilot mistakes. The world is looking in the wrong direction, blaming human error when the real danger lies in compromised automation. If this is a coordinated effort, whether by foreign adversaries, rogue elements, or systemic failures left unchecked, then allowing these issues to remain in the shadows poses a risk beyond just aviation. Mr. President, this needs immediate attention. If we wait for more unexplained crashes, the truth may come too late. The focus must shift now before the next disaster. The Bombardier CRJ-900LR, like other modern regional jets, relies on a combination of mechanical, hydraulic, and electronic systems to ensure safe landings. The aircraft's autopilot and automated landing systems assist pilots by maintaining approach speed, descent rate, and proper alignment with the runway. However, these systems depend on accurate sensor data and flawless hardware performance. During the approach phase, the landing gear deployment sequence begins, either manually by the pilots or automatically when reaching a preset altitude. The landing gear consists of hydraulic actuators, locking mechanisms, and sensors that confirm whether the gear is fully extended and locked. However, a hardware glitch or AI-induced malfunction could create a dangerous situation where the landing gear visually appears deployed but is not properly locked in place. This could lead to a false confirmation that everything is set for landing, when, in reality, the gear might collapse under the weight of touchdown. If the autopilot and automated systems fail to detect or alert the pilots of an incomplete lock, the aircraft may touch down harder than expected, causing excess stress on the structure. A compromised landing gear could then collapse asymmetrically, leading the aircraft to tilt to one side. This would create an imbalance, possibly resulting in a wing strike against the ground, which, under certain conditions, could cause the aircraft to rotate, tip over, or even flip. This highlights a crucial concern. Pilot error is often blamed for such incidents, but hidden failures in AI-driven automation and mechanical systems can take years to detect. If this issue is part of a larger pattern of malfunctions across different aircraft and airlines, immediate attention is needed to prevent further catastrophic failures. Mr. President, to determine whether these crashes are the result of AI interference or hardware failures, technicians and investigators should focus on the following key areas. 1. Autopilot and flight control software logs. Technicians need to review data logs from the Flight Data Recorder, FDR, and maintenance systems to detect anomalies in how the autopilot responded during landing. Any unexpected inputs, overrides, or errors could indicate software misinterpretation rather than pilot error. 2. Landing gear sensor data. The landing gear has multiple sensors to confirm extension and lock-in-place status. Engineers should look for inconsistencies where the system reports gear down and locked, but may not have fully engaged. Cross-referencing sensor readings with physical damage could reveal mechanical or software-induced faults. 3. Hydraulic actuator response time. If the landing gear didn't fully lock, it could be due to a delay or interruption in the hydraulic system. Technicians should check hydraulic pressure readings, actuator cycle times, and any unusual fluctuations that suggest interference or failure to engage. 4. AI-controlled maintenance alerts. Many modern aircraft rely on predictive maintenance AI. If AI-driven diagnostics fail to flag an issue before flight, it may indicate either a miscalculation in the system's algorithms or intentional obfuscation of critical failures. Reviewing past maintenance logs for suppressed or ignored alerts is crucial. 5. Flight Management System (FMS) overrides. The FMS integrates with autopilot systems to control descent and landing speed. Investigators should check whether there were sudden, unexplained deviations from expected values, especially if the aircraft descended faster than intended. If the system fought pilot corrections, it could point to an AI or automation failure. 6. Data corruption or external interference. Engineers should investigate whether external signals, software updates, or even cyber vulnerabilities could have led to AI miscalculations. Reviewing recent software patches, AI model updates, and potential conflicts between AI and human inputs is essential. Mr. President, these crashes should not be written off as simple pilot error when the increasing automation of modern aircraft means that unseen faults in AI and hardware could be at play. The industry must act now to identify these vulnerabilities before they escalate into more catastrophic failures.
Oh, fuck! Oh, fuck! Oh, no, 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 no!
Mr. President, blaming these crashes on pilot error or worse, using them to push divisive narratives about gender, race, or DEI policies is a dangerous distraction from the real issue at hand. The focus should not be on whether the pilot was a woman or a minority, but on the very real possibility that these failures are rooted in technological sabotage or deeply embedded vulnerabilities within our aviation systems. It is entirely possible that a third party, foreign or domestic, implemented weaknesses in the hardware and AI systems years ago, knowing they could exploit them in the future to undermine the United States. These systems were built with dependencies on automation, and if those dependencies are compromised, then the very infrastructure of our nation's aviation industry, and by extension, national security, is at risk. Instead of allowing the media and political operatives to steer the conversation toward identity politics, it is imperative that we focus on the integrity of our systems. These crashes are not about gender, race, or any social agenda. They are about national stability, technological sovereignty, and the potential for deliberate infiltration of our critical infrastructure. Mr. President, the real enemy is not within us. The real enemy may be the one who placed these flaws in our systems years ago, waiting for the right moment to use them. America cannot afford to chase distractions while real threats go unchecked.